Well, that was pretty cool. The thing is that's the second time we've seen her here. And we were up here just a moment ago, right before we saw her, talking about the truck. And you know, yesterday's video I was telling you we were going to put a winch on it, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about here in a minute. And so she would have seen this because the truck is right here. She would have seen this. And we walked back to the porch and Carolyn said, "Hey, be quiet." And there she was. I don't know what I did to startle her, but she got startled. So I know they're poached around here quite a bit, so it's kind of nice to see them around still. People are hungry around here. So yesterday I was telling you about how I was wanting to, make it easier to load lawnmowers into the back of the truck, and I talked to Dad, and I'm gonna get some 6x6 or 2x6s, and I've decided 2x4s. So it'll be a little bit cheaper and a little bit less weight. But the problem I was having is I just didn't think that it was going to be high enough with the winch underneath the Cyclops light. I just didn't think it was. I wanted it higher, significantly higher. The problem is I didn't want it above the cab while we're driving around, so it would cause drag. And so I was okay with it down here, but I just didn't like it. So I thought, I'm going to come back out here and take another look at this. So in yesterday's video, you'll remember I'm trying to figure out an easier way to load lawnmowers into the back of the truck, so I don't have to get a trailer. And I explained in yesterday's video that the trailer is just not a good idea to get. I know that people are telling me that I need to get a trailer. It's just the best way to go, and it is the best way to go if you didn't live on these lake roads. You cannot turn around. I can barely turn the truck around sometimes. There has been times where I've probably driven or backed up a quarter, maybe even a half mile just to get out, because you can't turn around. And I know people will say, well, you need a four-wheel drive truck. I'm not going to go out and buy a four-wheel drive truck so I can go mudding through people's manicured lawns. And that's the problem, is you don't want to turn around in a manicured lawn either. I mean, these are $1 million homes, and I know the subscribers are so much smarter than I am, but this is just the way I'm going to do it. I mean, I know that you load lawnmowers for a living for the last 40 years. I get it. You put them in the back of pickup trucks, you put them in fork trucks. I mean, you've done it all. I got it. But I haven't, so I'm going to do it this way. And I really like the winch idea, and I know it's going to work for me. So what I've decided to do is run a 2x4 on the rail of the truck here. It's going to be hard to demonstrate, so you can imagine what it is I'm going to do. So it's even going to be harder to get the whole thing in the camera. So imagine this is a 2x4, and I'm going to have one of these on each side of the truck, excuse me. And it's going to go almost the entire length of the truck bed here. It's going to run right on this rail, so just 66 inches is what I got it measured out to. Right there. So about 67 inches actually. Whatever it is to the end of the tape measure here. So I don't know if you can see the whole assembly here, but I'm going to turn it. So about 67 inches, whatever it is. And then I'm going to bolt it right here. I don't know if you can see that. So let me turn the camera again. So I'm going to bolt it right here. One bolt on each side. There's a 2x4 on each side. So it's going to get one bolt. And so I'll stow it. And then of course on the top end over there will be a 2x6 running across from this 2x4 to that 2x4, and the winch will be on the 2x6. And so now all I have to do is tie it down, and this will be how it rides along all the time. But when I want to get a lawnmower, all I got to do is lift it up like this. So I'll grab the camera. So now you can see that this will be up against the floor of the truck, so it can't go any further. But this will raise up quite a bit higher. Let's see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. So I go way up there. That gets me above the cab of the truck quite a bit. And when I look at the angle of that, when I pull the winch down, the cable, it should clear the tailgate all the way to the ground. So I don't have to do anything except just lift this up like this, and that's it. Just lift it up. Hook the cable up to the lawnmower. Now, there is the potential, obviously, that while I'm doing all this, this can come back down because it's going to swing, and tendency is going to be to come down. So all I need to do is just put a little, I have a little plastic brace that I'll just put up underneath here. No big deal. I just got to hold it temporarily until the cable is taut. Once it's tight, then the lawnmower will hold this up, and it'll be up against that floor. I'm liking this a lot better because now I get it higher, like I said, and I can stow it away. The other thing is when I'm up on the truck, if that doesn't work, well, when the mower is up on the truck now, all I gotta do is lower it down, strap it back down, or tie it down, or whatever it is I'm gonna do. I haven't really thought that completely through yet. And then I can just pull it the rest of the way into the truck with this in the stowed position. So again, I think I'm going to do this next Saturday. I think the parts are going to be here Saturday, or Thursday, excuse me. I think the parts are going to be here, or the winch is going to be here Thursday. And then on Saturday, I'll start putting this together. It won't take long, just a couple of cuts, I think. And I guess that should be it. So today I was working on a lawnmower. I was doing a service on it, and this is the first time I've run into it since I started working on lawnmowers here. But you really need to grease your front wheels. I know people don't, but you really need to. So here you see a wheel hub that has been greased. It's in good shape, and you'll see that I can't get my finger all the way into this hole. Well, the one I was working on today, this is that hub there. You can see I can get it all the way through. It was really wobbly on the truck. The tire was doing that. So you need to grease your lawnmower. Now, a lot of people say you shouldn't grease the spindles for your deck. It's just a waste of grease. I don't really agree with that. It's not a waste of grease. The thing is, it has bearings. Those spindles have bearings, and they're sealed bearings. So when you're greasing, you're not really greasing the bearing itself, because the grease can't get into the bearing because they're sealed. Of course, you can take the bearings out and you can remove those seals. That's not hard to do. I mean, I don't know if it's really worth the effort. So what's the point? Well, the point is you're still getting moisture inside the seal, or inside the see. Even though you have, let's just assume this bushing is a bearing, you still have all that free space in there, and moisture gets in there. And so now the moisture is in there. That moisture can get around those seals on the bearings quite easily, actually. Carolyn had a pulley type of spinner. It would spin dry the laundry, and it was always getting wet. They were always getting wet. And those bearings went out all the time, even though they were sealed bearings. I eventually took the bearing out, put a new bearing in, took those seals off, and just kind of greased it up the best I could. And that lasted quite a bit longer. The grease is keeping the moisture away from it. If you think about it, water floats on top of oil. So if you're putting grease on the top of the bearings, the seals and all that, that moisture is just going to float away. It's going to whisk away. So I suggest that you grease your lawn more. And grease isn't that expensive. You get the cheap stuff. I know the manufacturers want you to get the lithium, or I think it's lithium grease, synthetic grease, whatever it is. They want you to get all that stuff. And I don't know if you need to do that. Just keep that moisture away from it. But the reason those bushings went out is sand gets in there. Especially if you're in the desert area. I mean, we don't have that problem here. But if you're in a desert area, sand gets in there, and it's like sandpaper the whole time you're driving, just wearing away. So now tomorrow, I got to put this on. I'll get the part, the extra part. The handle to lift the wheels up has broke off, and this is such a simple job. So the problem is the part costs a lot of money. That's the downside, but as far as doing it, it's going to be real easy. And then Tuesday, I got to put a spindle on this, and then let's see, what else do I got to do? I feel like there's something else. I don't think there is. Oh, and then test it. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't disengage. The blades kept going after you released the engagement, but I already fixed that. I just ground it off, so I will show in my video that I make on it on the other channel what I did. So I don't know, I just don't always make videos because I want to make sure that it works before I show everybody else how to do it. So I want to make sure this works. The problem is that I could have just bought a part and replaced the part, but he needs it back, and the part was going to take a month to get here. So I ground it down. There was a little burr in it that was holding it up from disengaging. So I ground it down. Hopefully that'll work. If not, I'll just grind it down some more. I mean, I can grind it down a little bit more. This is a pretty nice lawnmower. I kind of like it. I mean, it's just a regular Craftsman. I've had lots of Craftsman, but they're all green. This one's the same type of Craftsman that I've sold many of, but this one's red, so it makes it obviously nicer. It is bigger. It's a 20 horsepower single cylinder, so that's pretty monstrous. So not much going on today. This is Sunday. Nobody's bringing lawnmowers over on Sunday. So, well, I guess I'm going to jump off of here. It's going to be a short video, but I don't have much else to talk about. So you'll click this up next box and take you to the video on my other channel where there's a brand new video today. So hope I can inspire you to continue thinking so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.